Hello there, chums. It's I, Captain Stephen. Here I am, chums, in one of my rooms up on my freighter that I've made specifically for cooking. Hence all the cookers and hence all these trays. But none of these trays have actually got power. Now that's freaking weird. One of them's grown despite not having power and the rest haven't. What the fudge is that all about? Okay, well this one was going to be for creating processed meat, but obviously I can't if the plants aren't growing. I've got one over here for friptis stew, so I've got everything I need here. Oh my days, and it just appears that just one in each of the corners has grown. That's bizarre. Okay, and then over here I have one for my I was going to make bread over here, and look at that, just the odd one or two plants has grown, even though the trays do not have any power. That is really freaking bizarre. I have reported it to Zendesk, and I'm waiting for that to get fixed. But in the meantime, I do have plants that are growing pre 2.2 out here amongst my other sort of trays that do have power. Yeah, it just seems to be this bug is affecting 2.23 and onwards. So yeah, I could make some bread. So I'm hopefully going to make 50 bread. So to make bread, I need some frost crystal. Awesome. To make the flour. So we're going to grab that. I believe it's the flour. We'll find out in a minute anyway. So grab those. And I've got some more over here. Yep. Awesome. Now what I'm going to need is the fecium. Actually, the fecium makes the flour, and that makes something else. We'll get to it in a second. So let's head down here. Oh, I don't have any of the red plants for fecium. You know what? I'll just have to grab some more dite, and I'll have to hopefully process it into fecium. But yeah, this isn't the normal way of doing it. What I'm basically going to do, chums, is make 50 bread in this episode, and I'm going to see how many nanites I get for 50 bread. Okay, right. I'll go back over to my refiner. I'm just going to get all this mordite processed into fecium, and I'll be right back with you. Well, here I am in my bread making room. Let's just pretend that I picked it all from here. Okay, so right in this one, I want to be placing in my frost crystal. So let's put some frost crystal in there. Oops, I needed to actually set that going, didn't I, really? There we go. So that's going to do 50 of this glass grains. And while that's going in there, I'm going to be putting in the fecium in here to make a load of wild yeast. So there we go, and that's making 100 wild yeast. Right, so after that's finished processing, I'll be with you for the next step. So just stay tuned a little longer. We're making bread, we're making dough, and turn it into real nanites. Freaking awesome. See you in a sec. Righto, well this cooker's about done, so let's interact with, there you go, it's finished. So if I interact with this, what I want to do is take that out of there. I'm going to be moving the glass grains over to here, and that's going to go into refined flour. So it was the frost crystal that goes into refined flour. It first goes into glass grains, then it goes into refined flour, and for 50 it's 1-to-1 in process, so it's pretty much on tier. But yeah, it's on parallel. You do get a little bit more nanites for the refined flour over the glass grains though from Mr. Kronos. He's a little bit more fussy with his glass grains. Right, so, and this one's only on 59%. It's because it actually does, oh, actually it's saying it's finished. That's bizarre. It was supposed to do 100. Okay, so let's take that out of there, which is fine. But then this wild yeast, I need to wait for my flour to be done and put it in here. So we'll just hold on for that to actually process, and then that should make us a dough, and then the dough should turn into bread. That's the plan anyway. Okay, so I'll be back with you in a sec. Done, so just 2% left, and there we are. And it's pretty much being done. Sweet. So now I need to take that out of there, go over to this one and plonk it in with my yeast. So here we are. Where are you? There you are, refined flour, and that turns into dough. Now that's going to take about 2 minutes roughly thereabouts, chums, so it doesn't take too long. Each of these steps is roughly about 2 minutes, and it's 3 steps, so it's less than 10 minutes to make yourself some bread. And you're going to get 50 in a stack, and then what I'm going to do is look at how many nanites I've got. So I've got 17,859 at the moment, pretty odd amount, but I'm going to go over to Kronos. I'm going to be turning this in and just see how much we get for less than 10 minutes work in actual baking. However, the talking to Kronos is quite painful, chums. It feels a lot longer than it is, so I will time it and I'll let you know what sort of nanites we get and what sort of time it takes. I know, freaking mind-blowing. I'm going to do maths. This is a new one for a freaking Sunday. Well, it's a Sunday while I'm recording, but you might not get to see this until Monday. Yeah. Alright, well, we'll see you in a sec over by Kronos. Cheery buys from that. Oh, no, I've got to do the last step, which is bread, isn't it? Because at the moment, is this making dough? It is. It's making dough. So I've just got to make the bread, which is the last step, which I will show you that before I go over to Kronos. Oh, sneaky me. I nearly jumped a step, didn't I? Okay, so I'll show you the bread making bit in a bit. There we go. That's done. And all I need to do is take the 50 dough and put it over there. It's going to turn into bread, and it's 1 to 1, so it's 50 to 50. It's brilliant. So yeah, make it into bread. And Kronos, he doesn't. There's times where if you turn in dough, he would say, "Oh, this is the worst thing I've ever tasted," and give you no nanites whatsoever. But I found with bread, he doesn't do that. He would give you the minimum of like 10 nanites or something. I mean, I could be wrong, but that's what my experience or how I feel it works. So it is worth spending the extra 2 minutes or so to craft the dough into bread. Because yeah, Mr. Kronos is a funny old guy. He really is. He is like a chef extraordinaire. He likes his a la carte stuff, and bread is right up there in a la carte, isn't it? You know what I mean? Yeah. Anyway, so we'll see you over at Kronos in a little bit. So you guys, please don't go anywhere, because this is the fun bit. I say fun bit, it really isn't. It's a shame you can't turn in 50 at once. But I'll see you over by Kronos, and you'll see what I mean. Cheery bye for now. Well, here I am, up by Mr. Kronos, with his lovely sort of ensemble of curtains going on. I'd say ensemble, one of them's fallen down. You know, you could put that back up. That's a trip hazard, and you shouldn't really be in a kitchen anyway. I'm fairly sure you could start a fire, Mr. Kronos. Right, okay, so here we go. Let's present bread. That's all I've got to present to him, and I've got 50 to present to him. So it's not just one. It's not just one. You have to do it like 50 times. But look, I just got 129 nanites just for one piece of frickin' bread, and I've got 50 of these things. Okay, now what I find to make this a little bit quicker is if you go into first person perspective. So go inside my helmet here. There we are. Brilliant. I can interact with him a lot quicker. So here we go. Let's present bread. So I'm going to roughly work out how long this is going to take. I mean, I've turned in 3 so far, and it's been a matter of seconds, but look at that, I've got loads of bread. I mean, not bread, loads of nanites. You don't give him bread and get bread back. I mean, no. You just keep interacting with him and just keep turning this in. Right, so I'm going to be a little while doing this. I'd imagine to do all 50, it's not going to take as long as I think. It just, because it's the same thing over and over again, and it's just a monotonous task, it just feels longer than it actually is, chums. So yeah, it's actually quite a quick way of getting it. So yeah, I'm 18,000 something. I'm already on 18,000 and something. So I'm just going to keep pressing on, and we'll see what we've got after the end of this, chums. Is he dribbling? What is that white stuff that's just come out of that T-shape on his frickin' chin? That just looks wrong. Okay, right. Okay, we're going to carry on feeding this little guy. Hopefully he explodes into a massive pus-type globule on the floor. We can only but hope. Okay, I'll be right back with you after I've given him all 50. In all 50 of my bread to him. Let's just bring back up my view, and let's just bring me back into person. There we are. Kaboom! I'm back. Right. So how many nanites did I get? I am now on 20,421, so 17 to 20 is what, 3,000 nanites there or thereabouts, in probably about, I'd say about 15 minutes, if that. So it's not too bad, 15 minutes work for 3,000 nanites. I mean, imagine trying to get that with Hadial cores. You get, what, a stack of 250 for 5 Hadial cores, or 5 of those little eggs from the little critters by abandoned buildings. I would say this is a pretty damn solid way of getting nanites. It doesn't feel like it on the outset, but when you get into it, it really is. I think it is the most lucrative way of getting nanites in a legit sense. Alright, chums, well, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Will you be trying this? I hope you do, because I find it's a really easy way to earn nanites. It's not the most exciting, though. Granted, not the most exciting. I'm hoping that they give a cooking update where they let you turn in more things to him, and I was hoping that they'd add a cooker here that you can interact with up on the actual station, because it's a bit annoying having to flying over to your freighter and then flying into this Nexus and things like that. You know what I mean? But anyway, that's that for now, chums, and I hope you join me again for perhaps, I'm going to try and maybe the processed meat next and see what we get for that. Anyway, goodbye for now. See you next time. Goodbye. And yes, I have a Patreon. Hop on over to Patreon. There's a tier there for pretty much everyone, including ship models. And yes, thank you to all my patrons that you can see here. Thank you, Patreons! And yes, I also have merch. Yeah, hop on over, grab yourself a funky mug or some awesome socks. And yeah, Nerv, thank you very much for making the music for my videos, chum. You're awesome. And yeah, if you want to support me in another way, you can just do the normal stuff, which is hit the notification bell, a like or a subscribe, or add a comment. Comments are freaking awesome. Yeah, and yeah, or stay with me a bit longer. Watch a bit more Captain Steve and EXO. Bye-bye!